Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Shinrin Yoku, and Yurt Life, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, February 21st, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. An X1.9 solar flare just kicked off the sun. Strong R3 level radio blackout. This is after a plasma filament shot off the sun just hours prior. Holy macaroni. Keep calm. It's boom time. California is facing flooding and mudslides as a rainstorm inundates the state, but that has just come to a close, thankfully. 37 million Californians were on alert today for flooding as another atmospheric river continued to inundate the state with rain and high elevation snow. Let's take a look at these totals. Holy macaroni. This is the 72-hour snowfall forecast for the West, and it's epic. Some areas off the charts. Any of the dark regions are 3 feet or more. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al says that this is fake. But we know this is the National Weather Service snowfall analysis as of 6 a.m., and it means much more snow than that has fallen because it continued to snow throughout the day. The storm is currently moving east, and here is the forecast. Rain and snow winding down in the west, critical fire weather in the southwest, winter storm in Alaska. Buckle up, Buttercup. The atmospheric river event is beginning to wind down along the west coast. However, lingering showers and mountain snow will remain throughout the day. In the southwest, dry conditions combined with gusty winds has led to critical fire weather concerns, especially in West Texas, the nexus of the Schmexis, and most of New Mexico. Take a look at where that pink is showing up in the map. A potent system in Alaska as well has prompted blizzard warnings across the western and northern portions of the Arctic coast. So heed the warnings if you're in Alaska. Let's take a look at the GFS model, which is looking epic through the first week of March. We're just going to walk it through for the next 10 days. And here is your Thursday forecast. Quite calm. We're going to see that storm racing across the country tomorrow, dumping a little bit of snow in the high elevations of the northern Rockies from central Colorado north. And then it's going to be delivering a little bit of snow to the northeast here Friday morning, Friday day. And we're talking New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, parts of Connecticut, as well as Maine. And then we take a look. The next system comes in here in the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, it's going to first hit British Columbia and Western Canada, and then it's going to dip its toes down into the east here. Here is Sunday through Monday and into Tuesday. That will be our lose day in the Pacific Northwest, including Washington State, as well as Oregon and Idaho. Could be picking up some big numbers. That snow's going to move down the Sierra Crest there Tuesday. Do you see that? There's more snow coming in there and then hit the Four Corners region and pummel us. The South San Juans with 4 to 6 feet of snow. Good news. We need the snow. And that is going to be Wednesday through Thursday. Here's your Friday. Something could develop in the Central Plains there in a big way. South Dakota has had a deficit of snow, and that certainly will add insult to injury with a wide swath of 16 to 18 inches potentially. So we're going to keep a close eye on these models. That is just on, where are we at here? We are on, that will be March 1st. Whew, holy macaroni, it's already spring, ding, ding. And that storm will move east, could bring heavy totals to the northeast. And those models must be off. That's going to be insane if there's 3 feet of snow on the coast of Maine. Holy macaroni. But I do digress. China's big freeze expands south and takes more names. Snow as high as horses hit Kyrgyzstan. Take a look at that. Those are horse heads and a guy buried in the snow. It actually, some of these numbers are absolutely ridiculous. Thank you, Cap Alon, for bringing all this together. I didn't unlock that one, unfortunately, with Patreon. We have unlocked the article, and you can see that temperature anomaly pushing down into China, causing that exceptional snow here. Also, we have a video here. Take a look at this. This is a wolf pack trying to get through deep snow. Over 3.3 feet of snow there, and the Wolfpack has nowhere to go, so they're making tunnels. Pretty spectacular there. Thank you, Cap, for all the footage you're sharing with us today and in all the days. Now, dust storm turns the skies orange in northwest China. So in the northeast China, it's cold. In the northwest, it's dusty. Take a look at this. I hope they have their masks on. Look at that. No mask in China. Can you believe that? The Wu flew everywhere and no mask on that guy. How dare he? More coming from Cap Alon. Deep snow persisting in Moscow. Holy macaroni. 6 feet hits northern India. Highways and communication cut off in Pakistan as China freezes. Arctic sea ice above the 20-year average, and Antarctica at minus 73.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Sounds like a global warming world now, doesn't it? Seismic update. All the links will be below to every article that we show you. Just go down and click on it and go get it. Seismic update. Small uptick of seismicity in Alaska as a whole, so we'll keep a close eye on that. Moderate uptick on the west coast. No other major quakes of note. Normal activity worldwide as we take a look at Iceland as the new update is out on the Reykjanes Peninsula and an eruption is imminent starting now, according to the update. Seismicity has dropped off to 0, which is indicative of an eruption imminent, so they might be right. But the other story is Popocatépetl. Popo today, eruptive activity continued with elevated tremor this morning, and that evolved into boom time. But before that, Merapi hit 12,000. Semeru also puffing and passing to 17,000 feet. Sabancaya to 21,000. Fuego to 15. Popo to 20. Again, as it's leading up to the big release, Popo had a big one today. Ducono to 8,000 feet. Reventador, 19,000. Santo Huito also coming in there. Here is the uplift from the last 3 eruptions on the peninsula, and you can see we've reached the same level as the last 3 eruptions, and with a quick uptick just today. So what they're saying is a new eruption is likely as ground inflation nears the same level before the last eruption, as you can see it here. In fact, it's a little bit higher. So anytime now, we're going to be reporting on a fissure eruption just north of Grindavik. And take a look. Popo, intense ash emissions today. Gorgeous picture there, but we're going to actually look at the live video in just a second. As the ground in the area north of Grindavik and east of Blue Lagoon, where the latest eruptions occurred, continues to swell and has now reached more or less the same level as immediately before the last recent short-lived eruptions. It's anyone's guess what's going to happen there. Yeah, it's boom time. Now let's take a look at some of Popo's activity today. It is spectacular and in high definition with no audio, but you can clearly see. This would be the view from the city down below, and it would be terrifying as the birds are chirping. But quite a bit of volcanic ash and dust sent up into the atmosphere here, the stratosphere, and, well, just making it a terrible day for many people downwind of this volcano. So Popo picking up speed today and some steam and putting it down. Now let's take a look at the sun. This is the large filament that erupted earlier today. It looks to be headed mostly away from Earth as we're facing directly to the screen here. So that would mean this filament is going off and to the right, hopefully. But none of the models are up, so we don't have any really good information yet. But following the plasma filament eruption, an impulsive X 1.9 solar flare was detected around AR 3590 at 2307 UTC just a few hours ago, and it was insane. Now, this gigantic sunspot is going to take 8 days to traverse Earth-facing latitudes. And that's bad news. It's going to be facing directly towards Earth for at least a week, maybe in the next week and a half. And the big strike zone will be about a day from now for the next 7 days. So we're going to keep a close eye on this sunspot, and we'll show you it in all its glory on the latest HMI intensity, which is coming up right now. We look at the size of that sunspot. Holy macaroni. And so we've already got one X flare, an impulsive X 1.9 from that spot. And we're waiting on the imaging to determine if there is any space weather headed our way. Because of the impulsive nature of that X flare, probably very limited, more chance of a glancing blow from the plasma filament. But we also have a coronal hole facing our way, coronal hole 1 and 2 simultaneously. Over the next 3 days, there will be a seismic alert for enhanced seismicity and large earthquakes. So we've got a lot going on here at SolarMax, and we can take a look at the latest HMI magnetic mixing here, and that is coming from the HMI intensity. And let's go look at what they're saying about this gigantic sunspot. It's currently beta, gamma, delta, the worst it could possibly be, where we have blue here, blue and red intermixing side by side in blue. So there is a very dangerous mixing here. X flares just went up to 5% from 1%. C flares at 75%, M flares at 30%. So this baby is active, and it is facing us for the next week or so. Ho, ho, ho. And that's good news, because we really want this world to end as fast as possible. So good news there. We've got some small X flares, praying for the X40 in the next 24 to 36 hours. Hours of powers. What say you? Here we're looking at that X1.9 solar flare, pretty spectacular. Based on the latest imagery, a lack of coronal dimming suggests that the Earth-directed CME is quite unlikely, and the active region continues to grow in both size and magnetic complexity, which means additional solar flares are not only likely, well, they are a blessing. Here we are at the WSA Enlil spiral. There is no information up yet. So this tomorrow's update, if anything spectacular happens, maybe the Iceland starts erupting, we'll get to this space weather update early. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till tomorrow night or early evening to get the next update on what's happening with space weather. Now, a dead 55,000-pound satellite is falling to Earth today. I didn't have time to check out if it actually re-entered. Will any debris survive the fiery reentry? Hopefully not. But we did have imagery of it here, the Big Doom satellite seen from space as it tumbled towards its fiery reentry today. Here was commercial imaging company HEO Robotics capturing the image of the European Space Agency's ERS-2 satellite as it fell towards Earth. And this picture was from Valentine's Day. So that is 7 days prior to the reentry point. And it's tiny. It's not big enough to actually get a piece to the surface. So this will blow up in epic glory, and there will be tons of videos on the interwebs claiming it's aliens. That's how that works. Scientists propose hacking viruses to fight climate change. It can't even get any dumber. I thought it couldn't, but it apparently has. The overall goal is to engineer microbes towards what we think is something useful. Yeah. How about letting microbes be and letting all the biology on Earth evolve as it has for billions of years? Once we start tinkering with this shit, we're going to go south, like Neuralink, unfortunately. Now, WikiLeaks' Julian Assange facing a wait to find out whether he can challenge extradition to the U.S. This is after a trial today. And unfortunately, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange won't find out until next month at the earliest whether he can challenge extradition to the U.S. on spying charges, or if his long legal battle in Britain has run out of road. In other words, if he gets extradited to the U.S., he will die in prison here because we will murder him, like Epstein, who didn't kill himself. Did you know 100 years ago you could buy a house for $1,548 from Sears Roebuck and they would just ship it to you? You get a couple of laborers and buy some bricks, and for a total cost of $3,895, you could have this spectacular modern home number 158. Now, I spoke to someone yesterday that lived in modern home 158, and it's spectacular. and they tore it down to build a cookie cutter, formaldehyde-rich particle board piece of garbage to sell for $500,000. We live in an idiocracy. Mind blown. Elon Musk claims Neuralink's first patient implanted with a brain chip can already move a computer mouse with their mind. Baby steps towards the dystopian future that we all do not deserve. NASA's New Horizon discovered a large surprise in the Kuiper Belt. Yeah, that it's not even there. In fact, there is an extended dust field that goes out far beyond anything that they've ever imagined. There might be a lot more than we thought to the belt of icy debris that circles the outer solar system. First, there's no ice there. Second, the debris are all dust. Third, there is no Kuiper Belt. Did you get the memo? Yeah. Are you picking it up? I just put it down. Here are my 2024 goals, and none of them involve AI or Elon Musk, electric vehicles. Wait a minute. This picture was generated by AI. I do digress. If you want to learn about the documentary called Idiocracy, I've just put it up on our Rumble channel, the full movie for free in highest definition I could find on the BitTorrent. So go get it. Already 1,000 people have watched in less than a few hours, and it's getting, well, spectacular reviews because it is a documentary of what's happening right now. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon, support the work we do, and watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free. We're packing up and we're seed saving, getting ready for the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange. And we can't wait to see you there. Be safe. We love you. And that is a boom.